Our next guest says the reason this border bill did not pass in the first place is because it, quote, doesn't actually secure the border, but instead grants amnesty to thousands of illegal aliens. For more, let's welcome in Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Good morning, Senator.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. You know, exactly. Even the Democrat who wrote this bill says the border never closes it. That's what the Democrat says. The border never closes. This was never a border security bill. This was political camouflage for Joe Biden and at-risk senators like John Tester up in Montana. So they could say they voted, they supported a bill that supposedly secured the border. But it doesn't. This bill did not secure the border. It actually made it worse. All they have to do, remember, all Joe Biden has to do is go back and implement Remain in Mexico, and the problem's fixed, at least for the meantime. That's all he has to do. Chuck Schumer has had over a year now, has had H.R. 2, the True Border Security Act, setting in front of him that he could have easily brought up in the Judiciary Committee. He never did that. This is all political camouflage.
Okay, so this is, to be clear, this was probably from the start an amnesty bill. I mean, President Biden would have the power to shut down the border if 4,000 people started crossing illegally a day. That's right now. That's today. That was yesterday. It made no sense back in February. It doesn't make any sense today. I'm wondering why you think there was this push from Democrats to suddenly get this thing over the goal line 5.5 months from the election.
Yeah, I think it emphasized that even when there's 1,000 people crossing the border in a day, the Border Patrol is overwhelmed. And we're averaging, like you said, 4,000 to 5,000, some days 10,000 people a day. But why right now? Look, this is all political theater. It's political camouflage. They're looking at their polling numbers. They suddenly realize this is the #1 issue, the defining issue of this election. So they're all running for political cover. Even Joe Biden now suddenly says, oh my gosh, I'm way behind in all these, and in all the purple states as well. So they're trying to do something, but at the same time, realizing the Democrats want these 11 million illegal aliens. Lots of them are already voting in local elections.
So I want to ask you about this. Senator Joni Ernst sent a letter to the Biden administration over concerns for their plans to bring in refugees from Gaza. I know you signed that letter, and then finally she got a very short response from the State Department just saying that they will properly vet all of these people from Gaza. Do you believe that?
Of course not. There's no way to properly vet those people. Again, the Border Patrol is already overwhelmed. It's not like Gaza has some type of an FBI there that we can call and say, hey, let's look at your data bank here and see what these people are doing. Actually, it's just the opposite. Joe Biden's already brought in 400,000 folks through a parole program where he's flying in people as well, folks that are never vetted. He wants to add these folks to the situation as well, whether he brings them in through a refugee program or through the parole situation. And again, the bill before us just greases that process. It makes it even easier to do that. So again, don't listen to what Joe Biden says, watch what he does.
Senator, I wouldn't normally take this opportunity to talk about the weekend, but this is a very special weekend for many, many Americans, and I know you've got something very special planned back in Kansas. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's actually here in Washington, D.C. The first Infantry Division Big Red One monument sits just outside the White House. It has inscribed on it the name of almost 13,000 soldiers from the Big Red One that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Since 1995, we've not updated that monument. Unfortunately, we have 631 more names, Big Red One soldiers, men and women, who have paid the ultimate sacrifice defending our freedom. So 100 years ago this year, President Calvin Coolidge dedicated that monument. 100 years later, we're updating it as well. We'll be paying homage as well to some Gold Star families. And just remember, all your listeners, that Memorial Day is today. Remember those people who made the ultimate sacrifice, that died for us to keep us free. On Veterans Day, thank veterans like me, like my dad, my brother, for their service. But on Memorial Day, remember the people that died to keep us free.